Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I normally do mostly like clothing reviews, but I had an idea that I just really haven't been able to get out of my head. So I'm gonna share with you guys what I would love to call fat history. I wanna do a series on fat people throughout history who have been treated poorly and tell their stories in a way that honors them in the way that they deserve to have been honored in their time. Our first topic is gonna be the absolute wonderful Cass Elliot, formerly Mama Cass of the Mamas and the Papas. Something I find interesting is that whenever I've told my friends that I was making this series, consistently the response would be, who's Mama Cass? Who is Cass Elliot? And I just find that absolutely mind-blowing because she was so iconic and just like the epitome of cool that like the thought of like someone not knowing who she is just wild to me. And so it occurred to me, maybe a lot more people don't know her story either. And so I want to share this with you guys. She was treated poorly in life and also in death. She could not escape it. She is a classic example of how fat phobia has absolutely ruined people's lives and taken away opportunities from people who genuinely deserved it. So without further ado, let's get started. Cass Elliot was born on September 19th, 1942. No, Cass Elliot was born September 19th, 1941 in Baltimore, Maryland. Her career started when she left high school early to go pursue a career in New York. She told her dad, "Give me 1 year and I guarantee you I'll make it." Honestly, this energy perfectly describes her throughout her career. She knew that she had the talent to make it and she wasn't gonna let anyone stop her. She first toured with the 1962 musical, The Music Man. After that, she would work as a server, and one of the ways that she made extra tips was by singing along with the band as they're playing. Even though she wasn't in the band, she was just a server, she would still sing along with them and ended up getting a lot more tips. Her first band was called the Big Three, and it was her, another member, and Denny. Later, when the band broke up, they kind of did separate things for a while. They did form another band called the Mugwumps for just a little bit, but it really didn't last very long. After the band broke up, Cass was kind of just doing her own solo thing, and Denny joined a band called the New Journeymen with Michelle and John. And he really wanted to bring Cass on because he knew how talented she was, but one of the members, John, was really hesitant to let her join the band. He says that she didn't have the vocal talent, which obviously that's not true. But he would also later brag about how he didn't want to let her in the band because he didn't believe that she aesthetically fit in the band. He said that all of the rest of them looked like string beans and she just didn't make sense next to them. This is a recurring theme. John openly hated and tormented Cass. He would verbally assault her constantly, picking on her weight and making fun of her as a person, just trying to tear her down really in any way that he possibly could. The band started when they went on a trip to the Virgin Islands. They spent the whole time singing and writing and doing some drugs. And finally, John let Cass in the band. And this is the start of the band, the Mamas and the Papas. Also, I will note that it was Cass's idea for the name of the band. When they auditioned for Western Recording Studio producer Lou Adler, it said that he could not believe his ears. He was absolutely blown away by their talent. He asked them to come back the next day and is said to have been so ready to sign them that he had contracts all over the floor. Within 48 hours, they had their new band name inspired by Cass and were on their way to writing their first single, California Dreamin', which you may recognize from the TikTok trend. It's the song that's like, all the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. All the leaves are brown. Okay, I'm not a great singer. I'm not Cass Elliot, but you get the point. At first, things were great. It felt like overnight they had just become this incredible success story, but tensions were starting to rise. On the trip to the Virgin Islands, things had started to get a little spicy between Denny and Michelle. See, here's the thing. Cass liked Denny. Denny liked Michelle. Michelle was married to John, who hated Cass. So things were just not great. So things were just a little complicated, you could say. It was around this time that she met her first husband, Jimi Hendrix. Not that Jimi Hendrix, a different one. He had mentioned that he was set to go to the Vietnam War and that one of the ways that he could get out of it is if he was married. And so she said, all right, let's go get married. And so they did, and they were platonically married for several years, which I feel like is such a her thing to do. When it came to her love life, though, it's a recurring theme that with every single person that she would date, people just treated it like it was a joke, like it was absolutely impossible for someone to love her. And it's just so heartbreaking because she was so incredibly cool and witty and funny and just beautiful, and people treated her like she was a monster, like she was an actual monster, like she was so ugly and horrible, and like anyone who tried to date her just had to be after her money. And looking back on it, it's so heartbreaking because she honestly deserved better at every single point. In magazines and in interviews, people would openly mock her weight. It was never not an issue. People would just openly talk about it. And even in one of their songs, the line was, "Nobody's getting fat except Mama Cass." And when you watch videos of those live performances, you can see how uncomfortable she is while singing that. She never let people know how bad it hurt her. She was known for just rolling with it and just being like, who cares? You're not gonna see me cry. And that's the thing, she would never ever let them see her cry. She dealt with her pain in private the whole time. Whenever Cass became pregnant, the bandmate John, first of all, told her to get rid of the pregnancy. And then it was said that he treated her so poorly, he would make her redo takes of their songs over and over and over and over. He bragged about how one time he made her redo a song 25 times. It was said that she had to crawl out of the studio on more than one occasion. Eventually, the band broke up. After the band broke up, Cass made her live debut of a solo career at Caesar's Palace. But unfortunately, due to weeks and months of crash dieting and drug use, she was in no position to go on stage. But she went on stage anyways, and it ended up being a source of incredible pain for her. Another thing is that when she was performing at Caesar's Palace, they had told her that on the marquee it would show Cass Elliot and not Mama Cass. And then mid-performance, they told her that the sign actually said Mama Cass, and it was incredibly upsetting for her. She was trying to show that she could make a name for herself in this world, and once again, every single person was fighting against her. She went on to do a lot of TV appearances. She was a regular guest on talk shows like the Mike Douglas Show, the Andy Williams Show, the Johnny Cash Show, and the Carol Burnett Show. She was even a guest star on The Match Game and on an episode of Scooby-Doo, which unsurprisingly, the episode was with her owning a candy factory. Yet again, another reference to her weight. In 1973, she got a new manager, Alan Carr, and he pushed her to leave pop music altogether and move more to the cabaret circuit. He thought she would do better if she put together a show. The title of the show was Don't Call Me Mama Anymore, a reference to the fact that she did not want to be associated with the mamas and the papas at all anymore. When it comes to her love life, she was known for not being tied down to one person necessarily. She had several serious boyfriends, all of which were treated like they couldn't possibly love her. She was married twice, once to Jimi Hendrix and once to Donald Weidman, who was actually a baron, which made her a baroness. One of the sad and interesting things about Cass is that her house was known to be the place that everyone went. In LA, it was like part of the local scene, Cass Elliot's house. Everyone went there to just party and hang out and enjoy time with other creatives and musicians of the time. It was, in fact, so much part of the scene that during the Manson murders, they were actually looked into, but they ended up having actually nothing to do with it. In 1967, Cass had a daughter named Owen. She really loved gender-bent names, and so she went with the name Owen, which I absolutely love that so much. She never publicly named who the father was, and I think that's such a power move, honestly, especially for the time when, like, you weren't allowed, like, having a kid on, like, as a single mother was, like, not a thing. Like, people did not do that. And now I get to the sad part. Before I get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break and show you guys my second outfit that I have. This part is gonna be brought to you by Fashion to Figure. I'm really excited to show you this. All right, so this is our second outfit. I'm really loving this top. It's like very structured. It's not super stretchy in the middle, but it is very like comfortable. The sleeves are super stretchable, which I love. This color is amazing for summer. It pairs well with these jeans, which honestly, I've been wanting to try jeans that are a little bit too big. I'm so glad that I did. Both of these outfits are from Fashion to Figure. I'm really excited to work with them. It's really hard to find places that have consistently good plus size clothing. And I've always had really good luck looking at their stuff, especially in winter, their tall boots. I'm just saying, I can't wait. So, yeah, if you've never looked into them, check them out. I'll have the link in my bio to everything. A little up close view. So let me know what you think. So, as I've said before, Cass Elliot was unable to escape fat phobia in her life. She literally had to endure complete torment, not only from her bandmates, but from the media and magazines and TV shows and interviews. People brought up her weight constantly. It was constantly brought up. At the end of her career, she had gotten a second chance at having a live show. This one was at the London Palladium. She was on this tour for 2 weeks, many of which were sold out shows, with her last performance getting a standing ovation. She had finally achieved what she had worked so hard for her entire life. She got the love and adoration and the respect that she deserved. After her performance, she went to a birthday party for Mick Jagger and partied all night long, well into the morning hours, where she got brunch with her friends. People there said that she was just generally looked very sick. But other than looking sick, she looked happy and like she was full of joy. She said that she just needed to get some sleep, and that was a sleep that she never woke up from. Cass passed away in her sleep from a heart attack, from extreme restrictive crash diets and drug use. In her death, to hide the shame of the drug use, her manager thought it would be a good idea to tell people that instead she died choking on a ham sandwich, which she was unable to escape fat phobia in her life, and she couldn't even escape it in death. Yet again, they made it about her weight, when in reality, it had absolutely nothing to do with that. It was just a lie that they had made up. Cass Elliot is a perfect example of how fat phobia can absolutely destroy the lives of even the most talented people, even the most cool and witty and lovely and just absolutely beautiful people can have their lives destroyed by fat phobia. And that is it. If you've never heard of her before, I'm really glad to be the one to have shared her with you. If you like content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I do make a lot more content for TikTok, a lot more regularly, but I do want to turn this into a series that I do weekly. I'm thinking of getting them uploaded every Monday. If there's anyone specifically that you would like me to talk about or that you would like to know more about, go ahead and leave me a comment, send me a message. I would love to hear from you. If there's one message that I could pass on from the life and death of Cass, it's that you deserve to have the things that you want in life, regardless of what you look like, and to persist and push through, because not only is it good for you, but it shows other people that they can be themselves too. She was one of the first fat pop stars. You almost never even hear about her, and that's heartbreaking. If you know anybody who needs to hear this, go ahead and send it to them. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I can't wait to show you guys what we have planned next. Thank you so much. I love you guys.